Hillsboro Raiders. This game is brought to you by Pets, Hobby and Game, the store worth traveling to see. Bacardi Motors, the car giant. Flemington National Bank, we make banking easier. Noldy's Pianos and Organs, the Flemington Music Store, we've got it all. Hillsboro Farmers
be here today, and will Dominic Blandino be able to move the Raiders against what I think is probably the second best defense in the conference right now next to Franklin. North Hunterdon very, very tough on defense. Saw them play against West, and they just dominated West on both sides of the ball, but their defense was most impressive.
Of course, North Hunterdon, they have some bigger people. They have big up front. However, I think the key that Hillsboro will have today will be how well Blandino goes to his wide receivers. Their passing game will be really a kind of a passing game against a running game with a grade of North Hunterdon, one of the leading scorers. He has 3 touchdowns. Tardy has 3 touchdowns and 3 PATs for 21 points. Although Hillsboro does have some balanced attack. Gary Ugello has rushed for over 100 yards in the first game. Scott Huff has been very effective, almost 100 yards. They did well against Piscataway. One of the reasons I think they didn't match up well against Piscataway not only had great size, but great speed. I'm not sure North Hunterdon has that great speed. If they don't, I think this is going to be a very hotly contested contest between 2 of the senior coaches here in the Mid-State Division, 2 people who do a good job of getting their teams ready to play. They have an excellent supportive staff with their assistants. I think we're going to see a well-coached, well-played game.
2 factors to keep in mind, Mike, before we get into the game. Hillsboro has to control the ball. They've got to have long, sustained drives because that means that North's not going to have the ball. And 2, if it's a close game, you got to watch out for the foot of Joe Kugelman. Without a doubt, one of the most outstanding kickers in the history of the Mid-State Conference. Young man missed 1 out of 25 PATs last year, and we know darn well he can put it up and through the uprights from 40 yards out.
Kugelman, as you say, a key. However, Hillsboro traditionally a great job on special teams. Fred Kuiper, their assistant coach, does an excellent job of coaching those special teams. And they have a decent field goal kicker in Pete Tardy. He also can put the ball through the upright. So this should be a good game. I don't think, not quite the big mismatchup that they printed up in the newspapers. I think we're going to see a good game. Any closing comments before we go away, Bob?
No, I think the first quarter is going to tell a story. If Hillsboro can keep it in, hang in there, play tough defense, and stay with North, that's going to dictate, I think, the rest of the ballgame.
Okay, that's it. We'll be back for this big Mid-State matchup right here on Channel 8 after this brief intermission.
Noldy's Pianos and Organs for keyboards, lessons, pianos, and clocks. Noldy's in the Hunterdon Shopping Center, Flemington, 782-5400.
The Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Merle Norman, the place for the custom face. Sherman & Sons Jewelers has elegant and distinctive jewelry. Fashion Bug is one of the largest retail stores for women's clothing. Pickwick Village has Lenox China and Hallmark cards and motion ornaments. Samsies is a full-line men's store with today's fashions. Breyer's Ice Cream Parlor has all-natural Breyer's ice cream. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Okay, we're back here at Hillsboro High School. Mike Pulowski, Bob Pearson with all the action for Channel 8 as the North Hunterdon Lions visit Hillsboro. The Raiders entertaining the Lions. The Lions have just won the toss, and they will receive, as you see, the co-captains of Hillsboro, Pete Tardy and Garrett Herbst, coming to the sidelines. The co-captains for the North Hunterdon Lions, number 45, Dwayne Grade, and number 60, Jeff Gromlowitz. Well, Bob, it should be a good game. North Hunterdon will get the ball first. We'll get a look at Dwayne Grade, who is probably one of the best backs in the Mid-State Conference this season. A big back. He's sneaky fast. Goes about 6'1". Let me check here. He's 6'1", 205, and he's quick, and he's gets through the hole, and he does a good job. He's tough.
Well, North's offense is not one-dimensional, Mike, with respect to Dwayne Grade. Mike Donnelly, who runs out of the flanker position. Outstanding ball player for the Lions. And Hendershot, the quarterback this year, junior, can throw the ball and he can option very well. So grade, yeah, is the key. If you can stop grade, you can take a big chunk of their offense out. But as I said, they're definitely not a one-dimensional offensive team.
Truly, a lot of bullets in the gun for George Greiner over there, including Hendershot, who I'm impressed with, has had a good season starting off as out on the field, teeing up the ball. As I believe 82, Pete Tardy, the senior everywhere, everything kind of guy, kicks off, kicks the extra points. Indeed, it is Pete Tardy, his brother.
Don't confuse him with Steve Tardy.
I know, no, he already told me that.
Don't start that.
Back deep for the North Hunterdon Lions, number 25, Mike Donnelly, and number 45, Dwayne Grade. We'll run down the offense as quickly as we can when we see the numbers after the kickoff, and we're ready for our second game of the season, and we expect a good game. We'll talk about some of the games that have happened the night before. You'll hear this, it'll be history, but nevertheless, big games as we're ready for Tardy on the kickoff. Officials come to the sidelines. Hillsboro 101, coached by Joe Polino. North Hunterdon undefeated 2-0 under George Greiner. Long drum roll here from the Hillsboro band. And we're underway. Tardy's kick, a good high kick, comes down at about the 2-yard line, taken by Grade there. It goes up the right sideline, has room. Grade just tripped up there, number 24 on the tackle from Hillsboro, and I believe that is John Flanagan.
That was Mike Donnelly on the return, Mike, number 25 for the Lions.
With the old eyes, I thought it was 45.
We don't want the Donnellys to feel as though we're ignoring their son Michael's efforts. Lions will put it in play. First down. Ball sits at the 30-yard line.
33 Matthews is the wide receiver left as Hendershot looks over things. On count and a whistle.
It's a delay of game. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Lions.
Try to run down some of the numbers of the starters for North Hunterdon. We had 33 Tom Matthews, 25 Donnelly, 26 Anthony Valentino, number 60 Jeff Gromlowitz, the co-captain, number 52 Jim Wilton, number 85 Scott Petkoskis.
We're going to make a correction on that call. It was an offside against the Raiders. It'll make it 1st and 5. Ball now at the 35-yard line. Well, that's good offense, Mike.
That's right. 5 yards. You didn't have to do anything yet. Hendershot again. Sets. Pitch goes to guess who? Grade around the right side. Picks up a first down, still on his feet. Dragged down there by number 63 for Hillsboro. Must be 62, Bob Spinelli.
Grade just takes a pitch out to the right-hand side and picks up 12 yards. Very effortless run by Grade. Excellent blocking on the right side.
Coming wide left for North Hunterdon again is 33 Tom Matthews. Hendershot at quarterback. The Lions have a first down at the 45. Again, handoff. This time to Donnelly around the quarter. Grade leading. He has room. Picks up the first down and 2. Pickup of 12 yards. Tackled there by number 40.
That was Ken Nixon for the Raiders. He made the stop. We'll take a look at some numbers for the Raiders on defense real quick here while they set it up for the next play. As soon as we can see some numbers, folks. Bear with me 1 second. 41 for the Raiders is Dave Patrick. Patrick, you'll remember from years gone by. Terrific ball player for the Raiders. Tough kid. Also, we've got number 40, Nixon. We mentioned him before. Number 24 is John Flanagan. 82 is Tardy. And we're ready to go back to action.
46 Motley comes into the game. He's wide right. Hendershot inside. Grade cuts back. Pickup of maybe 6. Good running game we've seen here so far. That could be that size difference in the line. North Hunterdon very strong up front with some big people.
Other players on D for the Raiders right now is number 53. That's Garrett Herbst. And you're right, Mike. Greiner wants to get in here and, pardon the pun, grind out some yardage. They want to control the ball. No sense in taking the risk of throwing it if you don't have to.
Hendershot faced with his second down and about 4. Pitch to Gray to the right, leading Donnelly. Good block. Gray close to a first down.
Good different play by number 82, Tardy, for the Raiders. He pinched that run to the inside, and then in on the stop was number 22. That's Chris Neville.
Try to run down that Lion offense. 62, Vince Constantino. 73, Fritz Hassenthaler. 62, Wilton. As we're back to live action, 3rd and short. Hendershot, long count. Fakes, hands off to Grade, inside Grade, on his feet. He may go all the way, one man to get him, and he's nailed inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line.
And we've got a flag on the play, Mike. It's the flag's down at about the 20-yard line, which would indicate it's an illegal block against North, but we'll wait and see what they come up with.
Tackled by 43 Yagello and 24 Flanagan. I'll tell you what, that play slow developed. Gray just kind of popped through there.
Well, Gray's, as you pointed out earlier, Gray's a sneaky player because he doesn't look like he's quick, but he is, and he's got some great lateral movement when he needs it, and he's just a tough person to bring down. Officials are talking it over with the Raiders. They are going to mark off in tandem a big 10-yard penalty. It was illegal use of the hands on the part of the Lions, so they lose 10 yards.
8:49 to go, first period action.
But they get a first down.
Sorry, Bob, didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. They lost 10 on the penalty, Mike, but they got the first down anyway.
0-0 to score, first down, Lions at the 30. They've been keeping the ball on the ground, mixing it between Grade and Donnelly. Parents will kill me on that one. Hendershot. Inside Donnelly, the call. Hard 5 yards. Dragged to the turf there by number 42, Scott Huff. Good block there by number 66, Mike Longcore. A lot of different numbers in and out of there for North Hunterdon.
Well, they do make some changes. 31 just came into the game for the Lions.
Paul Valentino checks in. As I'm going down the roster here, Bob, checking numbers, a lot of circles here, a lot of people getting a lot of action for George Griner. Second down, 5 for the Lions. Undefeated in mid-state conference play so far. Hendershot, junior quarterback, looks over, sets his team. Hands off inside Donnelly. Scoots, breaks one tackle, carries 2 others to the turf as once again number 40, Ken Nixon, and Flanagan, 24, combine for this stop.
Once again, we see that, check that North is trying to keep the ball on the ground, but they're down looking at the 3rd and about 4, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see Hendershot get it up in the air one time. And he does like to throw to Donnelly. We've seen him, we watched the West game, Mike, last week, and Donnelly is one that he looks for when he wants to throw that ball.
Check that. I believe the ball carrier was 24, Herb Vickery, who has a punt return for a touchdown already this season. In the backfield, we have 31, Valentino and Grade. Split right is 25, Donnelly. And another whistle.
And a flag.
Stoppage of play here. We'll stay with it just a second as we see what's going to go. Delay game.
The Raiders happy, and that'll put the Lions into a situation where you think they almost have to throw the ball now, Mike. It'll bring up a 3rd and maybe 9 yards.
Penalties working against North Hunterdon. As you look at Joe Polino on the sidelines. Hillsboro having a tough time stopping that North Hunterdon ground game early going.
No coach likes penalties, but George Griner is one that's has always been, his forte has been execution, and this really hurts a team that executes well.
Okay, while we have some time here, we'll take a short break and come right back.
From Pets.
School scores 0-0, 7:17 to go, first period action. Mike Polowski, Bob Pearson, and the Channel 8 crew. While we have some time, we don't have time as they break from the huddle. And the official says no, not yet. As Fred Kuiper comes to the sidelines after talking with the defense of Hillsboro. Now we see the Lions at the line. Hendershot, junior quarterback, directing the O for the Lions. Pitch goes to Grade on the right. He has blocking. Good job this time, and he's stacked up. No gain.
Outstanding defensive play by the Raiders. Stopped the flow right along the line of scrimmage, gave them no way to turn that upfield. And he does like to throw to Donnelly. We've seen him, we watched the West game, Mike, last week, and Donnelly is one that he looks for when he wants to throw that ball. And you can pick out some numbers, but I'll tell you 72, boy, I wish I went and jumped on this one, Mike.
Sarasivic.
Thank you so much. Al Sarasevic on the stop, really stringing out the play. Great job by the Raiders.
Good job. Brings up a 4th down. And we'll see Kugelman. We talked about him earlier. Joe Kugelman, an outstanding field goal kicker, well within his range. Down, kick is up, and it's going to be off to the side.
It would have been a close set, tell you, Mike. If he had straightened it out, it would have been right in there. And that would have been about a 40, looks like about a 46-yard field goal. So the Raiders are checked out. The Lions start a drive at their own 30. They chew up all but 6:34 in the first quarter, and they come up with the big 0.
Good drive, hurt by 2 penalties, illegal use of the hands, delay of game, and then an outstanding defensive play to stop Grade on a 3rd down, and they got the ball. Let's see what Hillsboro's offense comes up with now. Dominic Blandino, number 7, the quarterback, the senior. He's 101, already has 3 touchdown passes on the year. Scored a touchdown. Flanagan is right, and Blandino looks to throw, looks for Flanagan, has him. Still on his feet, and a big 1st down play to start. Tackled there by number 40, and that's
Eric Winicki for the Lions, Mike.
Eric Winicki.
And that's a 1st down, as Mike pointed out, and this is what we talked about before. Raiders can play some decent D and hold them down and control the ball on offense. This game's going to be a little bit closer than most people suspected.
Well, Hillsboro can open it up a little bit as number 72 checks in. Sarasivic comes in. Number 50 over the ball is Dave Frank, senior, who's played a lot for Hillsboro. Hillsboro has good backs in Ugello and Scott Huff. As 82, Tardy goes in slow motion. Blandino back to pass, looks for Tardy. Oh, good defensive play, outstanding defensive play.
Number 25 for the Lions in there with the quick hands. Mike Donnelly knocked that pass down. Bring up a 2nd down and a full 10.
That was a nice job. He got his hand in there just a nick of time. Tardy would add some room on the outside if he could have pulled that one in. Blandino's 1 for 1. Hillsboro with a 2nd down at the 34-yard line, looks like. Have a short, long coming, getting out of the huddle as Frank comes over the ball. Flanagan goes left, Tardy's right. Dave Patrick, 41. And Flanagan is left. Blandino hands off inside. Ball carry there. Gary Ugello stacked up after a yard.
Lions reacted to that one very, very well. Number 52 in on the stop for the Lions is Jimmy Welton. He's a real hard hitter, Mike's got a good reputation on defense, being a hard-nosed, reads the ball well, gets right to the point of contact.
Wilton's played a lot for North Hunterdon. He's been involved a number of years here. Now a senior. Some of the other defenders for North Hunterdon out there, as you mentioned earlier, Eric Winicki, number 52, Jim Wilton. Over the ball is 62, Constantino. As 41, Dave Patrick motions right, and we have a flag. I think North Hunterdon may have jumped off sides.
A little antsy. Lions kind of a little quick before the ball was snapped. You know, Mike, I'm going to stick my neck out here. Although our program says it's Vince Constantino, I believe that's Corsentino from years gone by. So if it is Corsentino, the spelling of the program's wrong, and we apologize to Vince.
You can just blame it on me, but it does say.
Yeah, I know what it says, but I think it's wrong.
You're probably right. Bob Pearson's seldom wrong. Plus, he's bigger than I am, so I have to defer. Okay, faced with a 3rd down.
Well, it looks like the officials have decided to make you and I look like we're stupid, Mike. They're saying that Hills pulled the Lions offside, so that brings up a 3rd and about 13 yards.
3rd and long, 13. I have a feeling we might see Blandino looking for Tardy. Tardy goes in motion right. Blandino up to pass, throws to Flanagan. Oh my, wow, we are talking trick play here. Is number 40, Ken Nixon's going all the way. That one, I was stunned on that one myself. Quick shot to Flanagan on the sideline. He laterals back to Nixon. He goes all the way for a touchdown. Not only was I surprised, North Hunterdon surprised as the fans whoop it up. That caught everybody sleeping. Joe Polino and his staff really pulled one out of the bag that time. 6-0, Hillsboro on top.
71 yards, and that's a heck of a play to have when you need 71 yards for a touchdown. Really caught the secondary of the Lions totally out to lunch.
Flanagan with the catch. Again, laterals to Nixon. He goes all the way.
Outstanding call, outstanding play.
Does Flanagan get an assist on that one?
We're going to take a look at it one more time. Sit back and enjoy this one, Hillsboro fans. Mr. Nixon turns that corner, and excuse me, but I'm going in for 6, and he's gone.
Hillsboro draws first blood. And Ken Nixon, as we come back to live action.
And another flag.
Another flag.
This time I think we got this one pegged, Mike. It's going to be delay against the Raiders, so it'll move back 5 yards.
4:45 to go. Hillsboro on top. Ken Nixon scores, goes 70 yards.
71, Mike.
71 yards.
Well, they're back up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go one more time with this PAT. Mr. Tardy. Holding for the Raiders is number 12, and that's Jason Reynolds.
High snap, gets it down, and it's blocked. Pete Tardy really took a flip on that one, tried to get it away.
45, Dwayne Grade for the Lions, blowing right in there. Absolutely no chance to get that kick off. So we stand at 6-0 at 4:45 to go in the first quarter. Surprisingly, not really. I think the Hillsboro Raiders are a team that some people might underestimate. And of course, the play that they pulled off to pull up that 6-0 score was something that everybody underestimated. That was just a real shocker.
Of course, though, like I said, even though they lost to Piscataway last week, Joe Polino said the game was much closer. We were looking to take a break, couldn't hear our director, so we'll apologize to Rick Tramontana down there. Get back to it quickly as we can.
Rick, we're competing with the Hillsboro High School band, so it's very difficult.
We're making excuses.
not to just be enchanted by the melodious tones of the Raider band.
We do have some time here as we're looking. We want to go for a quick break.
The Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Four Corners Imports for sterling silver jewelry and pewter figurines. Variety Photo has film, cameras, and photo processing. Rite Aid has thousands of items, all at great prices. The Source has the Victorian look of gunny sack and other fine clothing. Flemington Pizza makes delicious Italian specialties. Sal's Family Grooming Center knows how to care for your hair. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
24 the carry for the Lions. John Flanagan with a return.
No.
Okay, we're back here live as the kickoff bounces, and Herb Vickery, who has a punt return for a touchdown, is the return man, and Vickery comes up the right side with a good return, returns the ball to the 49-yard line.
A little trickery by the Lions. They do a reverse. Great hands off to Vickery. I sound like Elmer Fudd.
Lions with great field position now. Can they come back down 6-0? Oh, great. Eludes one tackler. Good defense. Just manages to step by number 53, Garrett Herbst, the co-captain for Hillsboro. Had him for a 5-yard loss. Slithers back to the line of scrimmage where he's buried. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Lions. And Hillsboro looks like they have that old friend momentum on their side right now. Hassenthaler comes over the ball for the Lions as number 46 goes wide right. Grade, Vickery, and Donnelly, the backs. Donnelly goes in motion right. Hendershot to throw, looks for him. In his hands and out. No good.
Hitter shot a little too much juice on the ball that time for Donnelly. Had to reach out, just couldn't hold on to it. It'll bring up a third down, and the Lions are looking at a long 10. Take a look at the secondary for the Raiders right now. Just run them down one more time. 22 is Chris Neville, 24 John Flanagan, and number 40, a name that the Lions will remember at least after this first quarter, Ken Nixon.
Hassan Thaler, the center, Gromlowitz, and Longcore, the guards. Quarterback Hendershot. Back to pass. Under blindside pressure. Just gets it away. Complete to Pakoskis, who has room on the sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds. Saving tackle by 24 Flanagan.
Flanagan just makes him out and gets him out of bounds. Otherwise, Pachakis would have been gone for a big 6. Interesting, it was a screen to the left. They set it up real nice. He had good downfield blocking. And if it was not for Mr. Flanagan, we'd be looking at a 6-6 ball game.
Seeing a lot of trick stuff here early in the contest. Reverse and lateral.
I don't know that the Joe Polino didn't set the mode there with that because Griner came right back with the reverse on the kickoff.
Truly, as 46, Jeff Motley is the wide man left. Hendershot again at the helm. Pitch, grade, off tackle. Has room, cuts back. He's gone. Goodbye. That's 6.
No flags on the field, and Gray just reversed his field, cut it right back to the left against the flow, and he's home free.
At 2:52 of the first period, our second score, we're knotted at 6. Good blocking up front. Gray just cut back, made it look easy. Flow going the other way. No way any of the Hillsboro Raiders could get after Gray, as Kugelman has a chance to put the Lions out in front here.
Well, as we said, Joe only missed 1 out of 25 last year. Rarity that he misses, obviously.
Snap is down, and it's good.
And it's long.
It's in the parking lot.
That makes it 7-0 with 2:50, or check that, 7-6 with 2:52 to go in the first quarter. Slow first quarter, relatively speaking. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with all the action.
Licardi Motors, the largest retail Chrysler Plymouth dealer in America. Selection, low prices. Licardi has 2,500 Chryslers, Plymouths, Peugeots, van conversions, and used cars, with more arriving daily. Call for instant credit. Licardi Motors, the car giant, guarantees we'll beat any deal in the U.S. or you get the car free. Mention this station and get a free gift. Come to Licardi Motors, Route 22 West, Greenbrook, 752-7373.
We're back at David A. Noonan Field with more football stuff as the Lions are on top 7-6. And Michael, what do you think?
Good game brewing, just as I expected, as Kugelman tees it up back deep for the Raiders. 24 Flanagan, 82 Pete Tardy. And I expect to see Hillsboro mix it up a little better here. I think we're in for a good game here.
No
Tricky
doubt,
stuff.
No doubt about it. Trickery, that seems to be the thing today.
October trickery. Ready, and Kugelman to go. Low sailing kick comes down to Tardy at about the 3. To the sidelines. Gets the burners going. Good block by Flanagan as Tardy crosses to about the 26. Flanagan, really a good block there.
Outstanding. Number 52, Wilton for the Lions in to take Tardy out of bounds. Raiders are going to put it in play. It looks like the ball's going to sit about the 26-yard line. Good place to start a drive, I guess.
Try to run down some of the Hillsboro offense. 73, Bill Sederoth. 83, Dennis Turner checks in. 53, Garrett Herbst. 62, Bob Spinelli. At quarterback, Blandino. To the air, looks, has his man, Flanagan. First down.
Number 40 on the stop for the Lions. That's Winicky, Eric Winicky. And the Raiders are on the move again one more time.
Hillsboro quickly going to the air.
Yeah, no lateral on that one, though. Kind of boring.
Interesting, working those corners, I guess.
Yeah.
We talked about that speed against Piscataway. Either we're seeing some great patterns, and Hillsboro known for having some great receivers. Talk about Ricky Prose out Wake Forest doing an outstanding job played here. Okay, first down, Raiders. About the 37. Blandino again to the air, looks. Oh, just out of the reach of number 83, Dennis Turner.
Take a look at the secondary for the Lions. We'll get them set while we get a chance here. Number 40 for the Lions is Eric Winicky. We've mentioned him before. 46 out there right now is Jeff Motley. 24 is Herb Vickery. And I do believe Anthony Valentino has been in and out there occasionally.
Checking in 65, Jeff Savar. Go ahead, Bob.
No, that's okay. We just wanted to mention Mr. Valentino's name. He is in there right now.
Flanagan comes to the right along with 41 Dave Patrick. Blandino faced with a 2nd and 10. Yagello and Scott Huff, the backs. Quick pass for Tardy. Oh, and it tipped up in the air. It was almost the old tip drill. The safety was charging in, luckily.
Yeah, Motley saw the ball tip, tried to reverse his direction, and slipped on the field. Otherwise, he may have stood a chance of grabbing that ball. Brings up a 3rd and 10, and it looks like it's going to be Air Hillsboro today, right, Mike?
Looks like it at 2:04. The scoreboard reading 7-6. Hillsboro down by 1. Grade blocking the extra point on a high snap. Raiders come out again. Blandino looks over. They set. Taking a long time here to develop as Tardy goes to the left. Blandino looks right, looks for Flanagan, and I'll tell you, tripped over his own feet there, covered by number 40.
Well, the ball was thrown on the opposite shoulder. Flanagan tried to reverse and get around to be able to snag it, and that's when he got caught up in the turf. Well thrown ball, though. The ball was thrown very well, just a little to the wrong side.
Dominic Blandino did an outstanding job at quarterback. As a matter of fact, had a brother who was an outstanding linebacker here at Hillsboro a few years ago.
24 and 25 back for the Lions to receive this punt. That's Donnelly, and 24 is Herb Vickery.
Vickery, a dangerous man on the punt, went, I believe, 34 yards against East. High snap. Tardy will have to do well to get it away, and he does. And does a decent kick, too. Fair catch called for by 25, and that's Donnelly.
Little controversy here is the coach over on the North Hunter bench, George Griner, wants a flag. 41 for the Raiders, right on top of Vickery, even though he called a fair catch. That was Dave Patrick. To no avail, though. The officials say let's play ball. No flag thrown.
I'll tell you, Dave Patrick has a nose for the ball. He's a tough hitter.
Well, his nose was right Mr. Vickery's at that moment.
He was hoping Vickery wouldn't fair catch that one. As we have 1:48 to go here in the first period, so we'll stay, even though we have a brief intermission here on the field as the Lions break the huddle. Now they come to the line. First down at the 34-yard line. Hendershot. We've seen him go to the air a couple times in the last series. This time is the pitch to Grade. He looks, hurdles one player. Oh, good hit there.
42, and guess who that is? We just mentioned his name a few moments ago. Scott Huff. Outstanding tackle by Huff, one-on-one with Dwayne Grade, and that's not easy, Mike.
Hillsboro always has a good contingent of linebackers. They always play a tough, hard-nosed defense. Joe Polino, of course, assisted by Tom DeMarco. Fred Kuiper. As Hendershot faced with a 2nd down and a long 8 to the air to 25 on the sidelines. He'll be short. 25, the ball, the receiver Donnelly. Good hit there by number 40, Nixon.
Number 33 for the Lions put an excellent downfield block on. That was, bear with me, folks, that's Tommy Matthews. Really did a nice containment block on the linebacker so that they could pick up some yardage on that play. And it's a 3rd and 1.2 yards.
After that first drive, I'm surprised that North Hunterdon's offense. I expected to see that high-powered offense that I've seen in the past, and they mixed it up really well here. As they jump off, we'll have an offsides, which will give North Hunterdon a first down.
43 for the Raiders. Gary Yagello a little quick in there, trying to anticipate the count, and it will cost them 5 yards. Well, we got some time. While they mark this off, we can name some of the, once again, we'll get some of the names in the defense for the Raiders. 53 right now calling the signals defensively, Garrett Herbst. 64 for the Raiders is Jeff Adair, and we're ready to go back to live action.
29 seconds in the first period. The score 7-6. Lions on top. First down at the 46. Hendershot. Pitch, great, off tackle. Stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Good defense.
A lot of Raiders in there, but the key stop on that one was by number 31 for the Raiders, and that is Drew Krasiak. Excuse me.
6 seconds to go in the period. And that will be the end of the first period with the Lions out in front of the Raiders 7-6. And we'll be back for second period action after this break.
Waltz Outdoor Center, Larison Lane, Ringo's, has some outstanding values on lawnmowers by Simplicity and Honda. Whether you need a riding mower or a top-quality push mower, now is the time to see Waltz and get to know the man who stands behind everything he sells and services. Waltz also features snowmobiles, chainsaws, Honda generators, and so much more. Take 202 South or 514 West and get a great deal on a new lawnmower at Waltz Outdoor Center, Larison Lane, Ringo's, 782-5654.
Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Rafters and find discounted prices on name brand clothes. Health Harvest is a full nutrition center with 2 nutritionists on staff. Everything is a variety store and changes its inventory every 30 days. Small's Formal Wear has the Christian Dior, Dynasty, and Miami Vice collections. Jamesway has everything from pots to patio furniture, all under one roof, all at great prices. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Okay, we're back for second period action here. Quickly, North Hunterdon goes to a short pass to Donnelly. On second down, his knee touches. He picks up maybe 2 yards, so we're faced with a third down and a long 7 or 8. Could be a good down, a crucial down for Hillsboro here. If they hold them, they can get good field position possibly. 7-6 score. Lions on type. Mike Pulowski, Bob Pearson with all the action for the Channel 8 crew here at Hillsboro High School. Hendershot signals. Pitch grade to the left. He rolls. Stacked up. Fights his way close to a first down. It's going to be very close. See where they spot the ball.
Outstanding run by Dwayne Grade. Really about the last 3 or 4 yards on his own. Just powered the ball in. They do signal first down. And that was a critical one for the Lions, as it was for the Raiders.
On the hit, 40 Nixon and 41 Patrick. Grade, a tough guy to bring down one-on-one. You really have to drive through him and square up on it.
Well, Dwayne Grade is an outstanding back, and I'll tell you, there's a couple of them in the Mid-State Conference this year, and we'll talk about that a little later on in the game.
I have a feeling a few of them are over at Franklin. I know Somerville has a couple. Hillsboro has a couple. They haven't seen much action yet today. They've seen the pass as Hendershot with a first down. Goes Grade back to Hendershot. Fake play, and he's smothered. Hillsboro will have none of that.
That was a play that the Lions used against Bridgewater West not too last week, and I'll tell you what, Hillsboro had none of that. Outstanding defensive play, particularly on the part of number 53 for the Raiders, Garrett Herbst. Really smelled that one and got in there.
Herbst, a tough, hard-nosed player, co-captain. Senior, 5'10", 190.
I think what happened on that play, White, because the Grade kind of got that ball back to Hendershot a little quicker than they expected. It was almost back a handoff back rather than a pitch back.
Loss of 6, second down, 16. Quick pass, they went to that before. To the sidelines, a pickup of about 6, maybe 8. I believe Donnelly or Vickery, the receiver, can't see the number, 24 or 5. It's 25, and that's Donnelly.
Nixon in on the stop for the Raiders. It'll bring up a third down. Now we're looking at 7 yards with 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
Well, we have a second rundown. Some of our crew today: Jim McHugh, working camera; Gary Jablonski on camera; Rick Tramontana, our director; Bill Stout, Colin Osborne, Valerie McMillan, and John Gerlich on instant replay. As we're back to live action here, third down and 7. Hendershot, long count. Almost pulls a player off, and they say yes indeed. I believe that is 64 Jeff Adair.
Well, that's going to give him 5 yards, and that'll make this a third and about 3 rather than a third and 6 or 7 or 8. So definitely advantage of the Lions. And I can suspect that we'll see Mr. Grade try to pick up the mail on this one and get the first down.
Hendershot must be doing a good job with his cadence because they've pulled them off several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to expound on it.
Well, there's not a heck of a lot you can say about that. Yeah, that's probably it, Mike.
Okay, well, we have a minute, Bob. We're talking about some of the other games. Of course, Franklin, as we're back to live action, we'll get to that. Franklin beating up on Somerville the other day.
Nobody wants
night.
to cooperate here, Mike, in regard to timing.
9:33, 7-6 the game. Raiders moving 3rd and 2. Grade will probably be the man. Indeed, he is. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage, stretches forward very close.
I would say he probably didn't make it, but it's difficult to say. We got a bad angle here, but it looks short.
Herbst, I believe, the tackle, along with help from number 31, Chris Eric.
Not even a measurement. 4th down, and it's less than a yard, no doubt about that, but it is still 4th down.
Play comes in from George Griner on the sidelines. Grade and Valentino, the backs, sneak by the quarterback. He has it.
Well, that does eliminate the possibilities of turnovers when you don't hand the ball off to anyone, and it was obviously successful for the Lions. 53 once again in there in the middle of the dirt trying to make the stop was Garrett Herbst for the Raiders.
The ball is spotted at just a shade over the 30-yard line as Hassenthaler, the center, comes over. You see 22 moving to the side for Hillsboro. That's Chris Nebel. Pitch to Grade. Sideline. Hurdles one player still on his feet. Picks up a first down.
Outstanding blocking by the Lions on the short side of the field. Number 73, Bill Sederoth.
No, that's Hassenthaler.
No, is that Hassenthaler? Excuse me, Mike. You're right. Nice job. And the Raiders are up against it a bit here with the ball at the 20-yard line. There's a officials time. Now it's Hillsboro. Raiders take a timeout, and we'll take a quick break here.
The Flemington National Bank and Trust Company has been making banking easier since 1876 and features very competitive mortgage rates, no fees on its Powerhouse Home Equity line of credit if applied for by November 30th, 1987, savings of up to 70% on stock purchases through its discount brokerage office, and the Cirrus Network with access to 25,000 teller machines worldwide. We have locations in Sergeantsville, Ringo's, ShopRite, Three Bridges, Flemington Circle, and Main Street, Flemington. Let us show you how we can make banking easier.
We're back at David A. Noonan Field, 6:07 to go, second quarter, and it's the visiting Lions on top 7-6. And Mike, we talked about some Mid-State Conference action last night. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the West Voorhees game?
Voorhees coming out on top there with a 21-0 score. West suffering their 3rd straight defeat. Rob Holter, 176 yards rushing for him and a TD on a 5-yard run. Bill Pesci has scored on a 14-yard run for Voorhees. Russ Walker, a 19-yard TD pass from Dave Valbliss. And I'll tell you, Voorhees, that win in that particular division, it's a strange thing this year. The Delaware division team's very tough.
Holter, I understand, picked up all that yardage in the second half, too. I understand it was a quiet first half.
Big win for Voorhees as their rivals, the North Hunterdon Lions, looking to put one on the board here. Pitch goes to Dwayne Grade. He's stacked up after a pickup of about 3. Tackled there by number 42, Scott Huff.
That's good for a first down. The ball's going to sit, about the 16-yard line. 43 coming out for the Raiders right now is Gary Yagello. He was replaced by 40 Nixon.
There you see Fred Kuiper, assistant coach, standing in the line of the cameras. We have a ground level view there of the Lions. They have a 1st and 10, 7:39 to go. They have a 1-point lead. Grade now picking up a lot of carries. Gets to the outside. He's going in. He picks up his 2nd touchdown.
Touchdown, Lions.
7:31 of the second period. Grade goes in from about the 15, and he has 2 touchdowns on the day.
We're going to take a look at this touchdown one more time by Dwayne Grade, and it's just all power and blocking on the left-hand side, short side of the field. And Hillsboro is up against it a bit now because we had indicated earlier if the Raiders could stay close within a touch, they had a good chance of making this a real interesting contest. Kugelman back to do the PAT.
Snap down, kick a knuckleball, sails through, it's good. Grade picking up those 2 touchdowns, becomes the scoring leader in the Mid-State with 5 touchdowns. Back behind him, Mike Thomas of Franklin with 24, and Eddie Daniels of Franklin with 24, followed by Pete Tardy of Hillsboro with 21 points, 3 touchdowns, and 2 PATs.
We just comment on Kugelman's PAT. That was very uncharacteristic for Joe. Normally, if you can picture the field here, David A. Noonan, the ball normally would be somewhere around Route 206, but nonetheless, it was a good PAT. It does put the Lions up 14-6 at this stage of the game. And I'll tell you, Mike, the Raiders got to get some offense out of this, and they've got to get some points.
On the sidelines, you saw Joe Paulino and Tom DeMarco, 2 of the assistants. Well, we have a minute. North Hunterdon and Hillsboro have some other outstanding teams besides their football team. North Hunterdon's boys soccer, 6-1-2. They just had a 6-game winning streak broken. Their girls tennis team is outstanding, 8-2. And their cross-country teams, girls and boys, are both 3-0 and ranked highly as Kugelman is getting ready to kick. Flanagan and Tardy are deep for the Raiders. And the Raiders, talking about their girls soccer program under Bob Guido, 5-1. They're having a great season.
Let's talk about their girls soccer program, Mike.
Not now. Kugelman's going to boom this one into the soccer field behind this football field. We have a timeout here, an equipment problem with number 73, and that's Bill Sederoth on the sidelines. And while they're doing that, maybe we can take... No, we'll substitute, so we better stay here. Checking in will be number 81 for Sederoth, and that is Keith Golden. Now we'll do it all again.
Kugelman takes a walk up, looks at the ball, makes sure that it's pointed in the right direction. Kidding, folks.
Want to mention that Hillsboro's field hockey team, their girls field hockey team, 4-1-1. Their field is adjacent to this. Barbara Hudak and her squad having a great season. Now it's back to football. I plugged everybody, except my family. Hello, Melanie and Matt. Kugelman. Kick comes to the sidelines to Tardy. Takes it at the 15. Goes to the center. Looks for room. Jukes. Goes down. First down at the 30-yard line, Hillsboro Raiders.
Chris Danielson for the Lions in there to put the stop on Tardy. And the Raiders will take possession just a shade over their own 30-yard line with 7:25 to go. They're down by 8, and they do need to get some offense going here. Number 7 in at the quarterback position for the Raiders. Guess who? Dominic Blandino.
It's not a question, I don't think, that Hillsboro hasn't had their offense going. They just haven't put it together.
No,
we haven't seen much of the ground game for them. It's been all air.
Yep.
Got to mix it up a little better, maybe. Let's see what Blandino does this time. As 41, Patrick in motion. Blandino to throw back, has time, has a man. Tardy hit the catch. He may go all the way. Tardy down the sidelines at the 20, at the 10. He'll go in. Touchdown. You wanted some offense, no flags on the field. I'll tell you what, there it was.
Well, that started at the Hillsboro 30, so that made 70 yards for Pete Tardy on an outstanding pass. And I know our Cable 8 crew will be able to show that to you one more time. But Tardy just took it clean in stride and motored. Here we go, folks. Pete Tardy, this one's for you. Blandino, little hand fake, and just wings it out to Tardy, full stride. And there's nobody from the Lions that's going to be able to bring him in. So we talked about the necessity for Hillsboro to have a controlled offense, sustained drive, and there you are.
The one-play offense. And for Pete Tardy, that's his 4th touchdown catch of the year, and he is the leader in that division. Dominic Blandino picks up his 4th touchdown pass. That ties him with slots of Piscataway. Warner of Somerville has 5, and he's the leader at this point, but the game's still young.
Well, it appears that we have some...
A timeout.
We've got a timeout, so let's take a quick break. It's like the Andrews sisters.
The hobby experts at Hobby and Game in Somerset have assembled a fantastic selection of remote-controlled vehicles. Experience the thrill of boating, the excitement of racing, the exhilaration of flying, and the high-tech adventure of rocketry. Hobby and Game also has Space Warp, a loop-de-loop roller coaster, as well as a terrific selection of model trains, games, and finishing supplies. So visit Hobby and Game, your place for fun on JFK Boulevard in Somerset and in the Chester Mall, Chester.
Quickly, we're back here as Hillsboro will go for two. Blandino looks, lofts it. Flanagan has it. It's 2 points, and we have a tied ball game, 14-14. I'll tell you what, those were two nice passes in a row by Blandino.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, the touchdown pass was 6 on a rope. We were just talking about it during the intermission. Couldn't throw the ball any better. Pete Tardy just picked that one full stride. And there, as we pointed out, nobody could catch up to him. And then a very nice pass to Flanagan for the 2-point conversion.
Nice timing pattern. As you look at Joe Polino, I'll tell you, they came ready to play today as they always do. I think Hunterdon Central, they had a tough time with East. They're having not what they expected here this afternoon.
Yeah, the Lions did have a tough time with East, and I don't know. You know, we talked to, I said their defense looked fairly good against West last week, and obviously they held them no points. Offense was good, but I mean, it wasn't an overpowering offense. And then all of a sudden you see that Hillsboro can really take it to them through the air. Now, you got to wonder about that secondary of the Lions right now. They seem to be a little bit suspect.
All right. Taking a lot of breaks here. We'll stick for this one. I'm really impressed with Blandino so far for Hillsboro. Done an outstanding job of hitting his receivers. Good patterns by his receivers.
Well, the other part of that, Mike, is he's got to be getting some good blocking up front.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. The offensive line for Hillsboro doing a super job in the trenches to give Blandino that time to set and throw that well.
Bob Spinelli, the guard there, Garrett Herbst, Dave Frank, Al Savara, well, he's defense, Bill Sederoth. Good blocking up front as back deep for North Hunterdon. Grade and 25. Donnelly, the kick from Tardy, a bouncing kick comes to Donnelly at about the 15, goes to the middle, has room. Donnelly might break. He has a man to beat. Tardy brings him down at about the 43-yard line. I'll tell you, whoa.
Donnelly got an alley to the left off the angle of the return that time, and he almost looked like he was going to be able to get to the outside, but Tardy held his ground, made an outstanding tackle, open field.
Bob, a second ago we were talking about the game. Seemed kind of slow there for a period. Outstanding first period, started the second. All of a sudden, things are heating up here quickly.
Well, George Greiner would definitely like to get some points on the board and take some of that momentum away from Hillsboro.
6:32 to go, second period action. Hendershot goes to Grade, looking for room on the corner. He has it still on his feet. Grade picks up close, looks like a first down.
Dwayne Grade doing what Dwayne Grade does best, and that's just running over people, and he did it that time to the tune of a first down. 6:23 to go in this in the half, actually. We've got a tied ball game, as you well know, and it's going to be interesting to see how these next 6 minutes turn out as to whether or not Hillsboro can put the stop to the offense of North.
46, Jeff Motley comes in as 73. Hassan Thaler goes over the ball. First down. Inside handoff. Don, check that, not Donnelly. That's 26, Valentino.
Tony Valentino for the Lions on the carry. And I'll tell you what, Hendershot almost had his back pocket ripped out because defensively for Hillsboro, and I'm still trying to pick up the number, I think it was 71, was all over him just before that handoff.
Another first down on the ground, 2 plays, 2 first downs. Lions moving. Back and forth contest on offense. Some good hitting on defense. Hendershot, short pass, almost knocked away. Received there by number 25, Donnelly, and he picks up another first.
Dave Patrick almost stepped into that one by mistake. It was almost a lateral pass, really, and Patrick was stepping up into the hole and just missed tapping that ball away.
3 plays, 3 first downs. Can't beat that on offense.
No, that's a good percentage. What's that, almost 100%? Something like that, right?
Checking in for Hillsboro, 22, Chris Neville. Grade again on the pitch, hurdles one player, knocked down this time, 24, Flanagan on the tackle.
No first down that time for the Lions. Grade tried to get on the left-hand side. Likes to run that short side of the field, Mike. You notice that. He's had a lot of success on that side. Not that he makes the decision, basically, but that's the way the Lions seem to like to go, short side of the field.
5:09 to go first half action, 14-14 the score. Hillsboro scored first on a 71-yard by run yard. Wow, boy, I can't even talk. I'm doing it. 71-yard run by Ken Nixon on a trick play. Right now, Lions threatening again with the score knotted. Handoff inside Valentino, the ball carrier. Short pickup there, tackled by several Raiders. Dave Patrick, 41, and 53, Garrett Herbst.
46 comes into the offense right now for the Lions, and that is Mr. Jeff Motley. Jeff's been has some playing time already in this game.
3rd down and 3. Motley goes wide right. Hendershot at the helm. Pitch, grade, slithers through for a 1st down. Good balance.
We don't have the official signal yet, but it is there right now. It is a 1st down. And Hillsboro has got it up against the wall again. There's no two ways about that. 40 in for the Raiders is Nixon. 43 coming off the field is Yagello, Gary, as they have in the program.
Good running back, Gary Yagello. Had a big opening day game. Picked up 166 yards against Watchung. 3:55, 14-14 all. Great again on the corner to the weak side. Stays on his feet. Stacked up this time.
Good pursuit by the Raiders, no doubt about it. They were right in there the whole way. They stopped Grade from getting a turn upfield. And the primary hit man on that was Kevin Day, number 32 for the Raiders, as he got in first.
Okay, 3:27 to go. 2nd down and 6. Hendershot looks. Long count. They set. Grade inside. Stacked up. And we'll quickly have to take a short break here.
If you want a new drug, gifts, cards, or something for the kids, you'll find them at the Hillsboro Pharmacy located on Route 206 at Amwell Road. We've been providing convenient one-stop shopping in a friendly, familiar atmosphere since 1960. The Hillsboro Pharmacy has everything from aspirin to zinc and, of course, prescriptions. Our computer checks drug history and interactions or provides insurance printouts anytime. Pharmacists Jerry, Tom, and Bob are always available to discuss questions about medicines or personal care products from head to toe. The Hillsboro Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, celebrating 25 years of service in Hillsboro.
Noldy's Pianos and Organs for keyboards, lessons, pianos, and clocks. Noldy's in the Hunterdon Shopping Center, Flemington, 782-5400.
Hi, I'm Howie, and this is Popeye. Say hi, Popeye. From Pets, Pets, Pets in Somerset. And we'd like to show you what Pets, Pets, Pets is all about. If it swims, or slithers, or flies, or is furry, or just plain unusual, you'll find it at Pets, Pets, Pets. So come on and see us at Pets, 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 2 JFK Boulevard, Somerset, or in the Chester Mall, Chester.
Okay, we are back. Lions faced with a 3rd and 7. And Hillsboro jumps off sides.
Well, we've seen that already a few times in this game, Mike. Raiders just a little bit anxious, and of course you with your incredible knowledge of the game of football pointing out that Hendershot, his cadence may be a bit irregular and difficult to predict.
Of course, you get a little anxious down around that goal line. You want to be quick off the mark, especially when you're playing at somebody who's a little larger. Hillsboro, not a real big defensive line. They have to be quick. They're noted for their quickness. A lot of times you anticipate, which isn't good to do. Sometimes you make the big play off that anticipation, and other times you're the GOAT. 3rd down and 4 for the Lions. 2:25, 14-14 all. Hendershot to Gray, the workhorse, nailed. Pickup of a yard maybe. 4th down. 4th down and short.
A little bit more than a yard, and it's going to be interesting to see just how well the Hillsboro defense goes there. And a goal line defense, obviously, at this stage. linebackers will be the difference here. How quickly they can pick the spot, find the ball, and get in there and plug a hole.
Very tough. Hillsboro up against it here. This a very key play. Momentum hangs in the balance here. You make it, they have it. Goes the other way, it's Hillsboro. Hendershot, pitch to Grade on the corner, walks in.
No contest. I think Hillsboro was right up tight. The backers were in tight and pinched on the line. Grade virtually walked in untouched into the end zone off the left side. So at 142, Dwayne Grade adds to his tally for the day. The Lions go up 20-14 pending Mr. Kugelman's PAT.
Grade scores his 3rd touchdown of the half.
2nd of the quarter.
Takes command of the scoring lead in the mid-state with that.
Actually, Mike, he's got 3 TDs with this one.
3, yes.
Yes.
He scored at 2:52 of the first and at 7:31 of the second. And the kick by Kugelman
Pro
is
forma.
good.
We're going to take a quick break before we come back with minute 42. Lions on top, 21-14 in the first half.
Noldy's Pianos and Organs for keyboards, lessons, pianos, and clocks. Noldy's in the Hunterdon Shopping Center, Flemington, 782-5400.
Okay, we're back here at Hillsboro High School. Mike Pulowski, Bob Pearson, the Cable 8 crew. Nice afternoon for football. As we take a look on the sidelines, one of the Hillsboro players can't get the number. The trainer, Linda Migliori, taking care of him as the ball will come to Tardy in the middle. Tardy cuts to the right side, looks for running room, stacked up at about the 30.
Well, if you're Joe Polino, what do you do, Mike? Do you kind of play a little conservative here, or you do you go to the air again one more time, particularly after that 70-some-yard run by Pete Tardy after a pass from Blandino?
I'll be honest, I think Joe will air it out a little bit. He's had great success here.
Yep. No reason really to be conservative. I mean, what the heck?
128, a lot of time. Go a long way in that. Especially catch the defense while they're, maybe a little tired, although they were off the field. A lot of people playing both ways. Let's see what Joe will do here. Blandino at quarterback. In motion goes Ugello. And the halfback pass from Scott Huff. He has a man. Oh, great defensive player. It was 6.
24 for the Lions. Made an outstanding play, and I'm going to tell you who that is. Herb Vickery just jumped up and tapped away at the last minute. Pass slightly underthrown, a little bit. I mean, we don't want to be too tough on Scott, who aired that one out. But a little bit higher, and there would have been 6 more on the board. Lights would have been flashing.
Scott Huff does throw the ball for them on that halfback option. They used it 4 times against Piscataway last week. Okay, 2nd down. Good time for that call. Doesn't work as Tardy goes in motion right. Blandino looks. Knocked away at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive effort there by number 66 for the Lions, Mike Longcore.
Blandino almost received his own pass that time, Mike. He was going back when it was tapped, picked it up off the ground. Well, the clock has stopped. It's got 1:05 showing on it. 65 in for the Raiders. Just scooting right across the field is Jeff Savari. He's going in with the play.
21-14 is the score. Lions on top. They were favored. Hillsboro hanging very tough. Good game. Little slow here and there. Blandino rolls, looks, has time, throws long way over his intended receiver, who was 24, John Flanagan.
Blandino looking downfield saying, hey, that's a fly pattern. Now you just air it out. You got to be there. And apparently Flanagan thought it was an up and out.
However, as we talked about Hillsboro airing it out, we got a minute left, and with a punt here, the Lions could have good field position, although they're basically a ground game. They might go for one more.
Yeah, Hendershot hasn't really done a lot of throwing this afternoon, but it is the first half only, and who knows, Griner may want to kind of really take some momentum out of Hills by trying to get a quick 6 up there with a minute showing. At least get into range for Cougar.
Vickery has a punt return for, as they go for a block, almost get it. It's partially tipped on the block, and they'll watch the ball bounce with 52 seconds on the clock. Under 50 now, touch it down. Couldn't see who got a hand on it. Ball partially blocked.
And Coach Greiner is not shy about letting Kugelman get in there to give a shot at it in the opening game and the second game against West. North had a drive stall in the first quarter, basically about the 17-yard line, and no hesitation. It was 4th and about 5. They said, come on, Joe, try and fire one in there. So they may look for field position for Kugelman, or they may try to get 6, or they may try to kill the clock.
Or try to kill the TV announcers. Let's see what happens. Grade will go to the halfback pass. He has a man, I'll tell you what, bumping there, no flags, but I'll tell you, I think that could have went either way, actually.
33, let's take a look and see who he is first before we start talking about people. 33 is Paul, oh, check that, Tom Matthews, who was the intended receiver. He was clearly watching the ball, and so was the Hillsboro defender. That's why there was no flag.
Truly, they both kind of pushed off on each other a little bit. That's why I said he could have gone offensive or defensive interference, no flag.
Plus the
Good call by the officials.
Like to get the game going.
That's right, with 25 seconds showing.
Only kidding, they don't.
Although we do have a flag down there.
Oh, well, maybe that's a flag for not throwing the flag down the other end. Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Raiders. It sounds like
Grade was roughed up a little bit on the pass.
Hard to believe that anybody can rough up Dwayne Grade.
Okay, that gives him outstanding field position. I'll tell you, one good sideline pass, and Kugelman's in range here. Bob, I'm kind of we've seen a little bit of everything here today. Halfback passes, laterals, all kinds of screens.
Well, it's not a conservative game, that's for sure.
2 wide receivers come right for the Lions. Hendershot under pressure, gets it away on a screen, goes to 66.
Fumble, Michael.
Fumbles the ball.
Recovered by Lions. It's there's a flag on this play also. And it's going to be in the area where there's going to be either a holding call or an illegal block call against the Lions.
That ball was received by Mike Longcore, a guard.
Yeah, well, he became eligible.
Truly, the little trick play there.
Told that little official over there on the side, I'm going to be eligible, sir. And they said, okay.
Fooled everyone, including me. With 15 seconds to go, we do have flags. Let's see what the call is going to be as they're talking about it. We won't take a break because there's so little time left. Clip. No. Illegal forward pass.
Right. I've got my little chart here with these little guys with their hands in various directions, and that's what they tell me.
Maybe he wasn't eligible.
Maybe he forgot to check in.
Truly.
Which you have to do.
Whichever the case.
We can speculate that till the end of the first half, which is only 15 seconds away, but we won't keep you on the edge of your seats with our opinion in that matter.
Here we take a look at some of the fans, and that gentleman, I believe, from Hillsboro Pharmacy. If I'm not correct, I'm in big trouble.
Either that or he's with the Secret Service and he's here because Mr. Reagan's coming to town.
Of course, Hillsboro Pharmacy, one of the sponsors of our football contest, as Hendershot goes to the air, sidearms it, bullet dropped there by number 85 with 2 seconds showing.
Scott Pacachis.
I'm glad you said that. I wouldn't massacre that name for anything.
I'll tell you right now, Michael, I don't have it right either, but we'll work on that one during the halftime. We'll phonetically work that one out, folks.
Okay. 2 seconds to go until the half, and there is another flag on the field as the officials sort it out, and it takes forever to get to the half sometimes, folks.
And we've got 2 seconds, yes. We can talk a little bit about the big game last night in the conference at Franklin and Somerville, and I had a privilege and pleasure to be there, and I want to tell you, Michael, Franklin is awesome. And it's very difficult to be objective, being that I'm a resident of Franklin, as you, having been a graduate of Franklin. But Lenny Rivers has got one hell of a football team at Franklin this year, and people in Group 3 just better hold on to their shorts because it's going to be tough to bring them down.
We get our first PG-rated broadcast from Bob Pearson here, folks. Of course, Franklin winning 40-7 over Somerville, easily handling Somerville last evening, which will be an evening long ago when you hear this. As the ball goes to 25, Valentino, and he brings it out to about the 50. And that will be the end of the first half. The teams will go to the locker room with the score. The Lions 21, the Raiders 14. And we'll be back for what appears to be a good game after this intermission.